Hello everyone, welcome to Mitchmatics. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to add and subtract rational numbers with mixed fractions specifically. So this is part 2 of the tutorial and it's going to show you how to subtract two fractions. We have a negative 2 1/2 minus a 4 1/2 fraction. So again, these are mixed fractions because they have a whole number component and a fractional component. So we're going to keep some reminders when we're doing this. We're going to remember that we have integer rules that we must follow when we're adding and subtracting rational numbers. And we also have to remember when we're adding and subtracting fractions, we have to have common denominators. And we have to have our fractions turned into improper fractions. It is a lot harder to add these fractions when they are mixed fractions. So let's go ahead and follow the steps on the right, and we're going to figure out how to do this. So the first step is to turn fractions into improper fractions first. So we're going to do that here. We're going to focus on the first one and then the second one. So let's go ahead and do that. We're doing step 1. So I'm going to have to turn negative 2 1/2 into a improper fraction. The way I do that is I multiply the whole number times the denominator. 2 times 2 is 4. And then I add that to the numerator. So I'm going to do 4 plus 1, which is the numerator, the top of the fraction, which is 5. And then that will equal the top of my new fraction. And then I just rewrite 2. So you kind of ignore the sign until you get to the end. So the sign stays though. So negative 2 1/2 will be the same as negative 5 1/2. So this has to stay negative. So now we have our first one done. Now we're going to do the next one. Now don't get confused. This negative right here is subtraction, but technically 4 1/2 is a positive fraction. So we're just going to rewrite 4 1/2. We're going to rewrite these underneath this, and we're going to bring down that sign. So let's do 4 1/2 and turn it into an improper fraction. So again, we're going to do the same thing. 4 times 2 is 8, and then we're going to take 8, and we're going to add that numerator. 8 plus 1. If this was 2, you would have added 2. If this was 3, you would have added 3. So don't get confused. It's not always 1. It's that the number up here, you're adding it to it. So 8 plus 1 is 9. So that's the top of my improper fraction. So I'm just going to put a line here so you don't get confused. And now I'm just going to rewrite my denominator, or the bottom of my fraction. So 9 1/2. So 9 1/2 is my second one. So now I'm just going to rewrite both of these. So I'm going to rewrite for this one. It's negative 5 1/2. And then I'm going to rewrite my negative sign. And then I'm going to rewrite for 4 1/2 a 9 1/2 in its place. And now I just have to now get common denominators. And so if you look here, actually, they both have common denominators. So 2 and 2, they're both already with a common denominator. So all I need to do is simplify it and use my integer rules. So remember, when you're adding or subtracting fractions, the denominator has to be the same. So I'm just going to rewrite a big fraction. I'm going to put 2 underneath because it is going to stay the same. So these, you don't add the denominator. So I'm just rewriting the 2. Because I see 2 2's, I'm just writing the 2. Because again, this does not change. You do not add the bottom. And now I'm going to rewrite the top. Negative 5 minus 9. If you notice, I am basically keeping all the signs in the top. Now it's just do the top problem, and all you need to do left. Negative 5 minus 9. So now if we go back to our integers, I'm going to do it on the side. When I do my integers, negative 5 minus 9, I'm going to put a line here so you don't get confused. When you're subtracting any integers, you need to follow the keep change rule or adding the opposite. So I'm going to keep the sign the same for negative 5. I'm going to change the operation to addition. And because this is technically already a positive 9, I'm going to change it to negative. So now the problem is negative 5 plus negative 9. I'm now adding. It's much easier. When I add two negative numbers, I will get a larger negative number. So think of your signs and numbers differently. When they're both the same sign, I'm just adding the numbers. So what's 9 plus 5? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. So negative 14 will be my answer for the top. Now I'm just going to rewrite my fraction again. I'm going to rewrite negative 14 on top and 2 on the bottom. Oh, look, I can simplify. 14 divided by 2. How many times does 2 go into 14 equally? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 5, 6, 7. 7 times. It's going to go in there 7 times. And don't forget your sign. That negative sign stays. So my answer is negative 7. And that is how you're going to add, or in this case subtract, mixed fractions. Again, follow these steps. Find turn the fractions to improper fractions if they're mixed. Get a common denominator. This one already had a common denominator, so we didn't have to do that step. and then follow your integer rules when you're adding, subtracting, and then simplify. So we just simplified last. I hope this helped you understand it a little bit better, and keep practicing. You will get this.